I noticed Taylor Lapilus is going to be fighting Nathan Maness, who's the present sitting bantamweight champion. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that particular fight there? Because it looks like a real fun fight at 135 pounds.
Well, it's a great fight. I mean, Lapilus is a UFC veteran. He had a very good run in the UFC. He was 3-1. He has a great record. He's a very dynamic, explosive, fast, and spectacular fighter. And Nate Maness is, according to everybody, the number one prospect in North America at 135. And, I say that quite often. If I look at our champions right now, whether it's Cyril Gane at heavyweight or Marc-Andre Barrio at light heavy and middleweight who just went to the UFC, or Jesse or Maness or Gordon or Jourdain, I mean, those are all guys that could give a huge run for their money to the UFC champions. Actually, Cyril Gane, our heavyweight champion, I believe, could beat anybody in the UFC at heavyweight. So, yeah, Nate Maness, not only he's our champion, he's the top prospect in North America, but I firmly believe that if he does go to the UFC, and when he goes to the UFC, he's going to be a top 10 guy very, very fast, if not a top 5.
Yeah, well, I agree with that sentiment. I mean, Nate Maness undefeated, and he had that big victory over Jesse Arnett. But you also mentioned Cyril Gane in there, being that he's, the sitting heavyweight champion, and he's fighting Roger Souza in the main event there. What are your thoughts on that particular fight? Because Souza looks like he's a bit of a bruiser. I see a lot of first-round finishes here, a lot of striking-based finishes, and also some submission finishes in here. So it looks like an exciting tilt.
It's going to be an amazing fight. Obviously, the fight we really wanted to do was Rafael Pessoa and Cyril, but Pessoa's hurt, broke his hand. He won't be ready in time. So we were looking for a very tough, top-tier opponent to fight Cyril, because Cyril's a dangerous mofo. I mean,
yeah.
you can't put him in the ring with just anybody. He's gonna destroy people. You saw what he did with Adam Deichka, who was the top prospect in North America. He completely destroyed him. It wasn't even funny. So we looked at who was available at heavyweight, and Roger Souza is a top guy at heavyweight that was available, and we signed him. And this is gonna be a great fight. I mean, Roger Souza is a very good striker. He's a huge heavyweight. If things don't go his way standing up, he's got a very good ground game. But the thing is, will he be able to take Cyril down? If to be quite honest with you, if I'm a manager or a coach of a fighter that's going to fight Cyril Gane, the first thing I want to do is make sure my guy won't stand up with this guy, because this guy's a Muay Thai killer. He's like a destroyer standing up. So we know for a fact that Roger Souza, if he's intelligent, will come into this fight trying to take it to the ground. And obviously Cyril, I believe his training camp will be based on him not going there. So it's going to be a very, very interesting fight.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fireworks there, and I mean, Cyril being a guy who, like, both of his professional fights have been under the TKO banner, and he's just been so impressive in his professional run so far. But one of the other title fights on the card is for the flyweight championship here, I'm noticing. Masson-Wong, Bohm going at it for the vacant belt there. What are your thoughts on that fight there? Because I know Jad has, a fair bit of experience getting into this fight. I mean, both of these individuals undefeated. They seem to have a commensurate level of experience. What are your thoughts on that flyweight title fight?
It's going to be very good, because Jade is a very, very good girl, a very good fighter. She's by far the best woman in Canada as far as MMA goes. She's been training very hard for this fight. She traveled to Syndicate MMA in Las Vegas, did the training, part of her training camp there. She's training with some very good guys. I mean, there's not too many girls here in Quebec or in Canada, so she trains mainly with guys. But she trains with high-quality training partners. So, and she's so strong. She's freaky strong. That's her forte. I mean, her stand-up is pretty good. She's working on the wrestling. She's working on the ground game, on the jiu-jitsu and stuff. But her strength, how strong she is when along the cage, she's very strong. And And I believe Mandy Bohm is going to be our most serious opponent to date. I mean, she's faced some pretty good competition, but I think Mandy Bohm is on a different level than the other girls she fought. And same thing with Mandy. She's from Germany, undefeated 5-0, very good striker, has improved tons on wrestling and jiu-jitsu. She did our training camp with Conor McGregor over there in Ireland with Coach John Kavanagh. So she's been training seriously for this fight. She also has great training partners. I mean, this is by far the best woman fight in Canadian history, and it happens to be the first ever TKO World Flyweight Woman Championship. So there's a lot at stake. It's not only the title, it's also the fact that this is the very first time we put a woman title on the line, and those two will make history. And I would be it's a very tough fight to call. I mean, this is one fight you don't want to bet on, because you have 50% of chance of losing, because I don't know who's going to win that fight.
Yeah, it really sets the tone and sets a standard for the belt and just the division by proxy going forward.